Historical picture right here you're looking at, folks. Right here, this picture of Terrence Bud Crawford on ESPN with the great, awesome May Day. On Independence Day, the American flag wrapped around this glorious legend, future Hall of Fame, pound per pound, 147-pound king, Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford, a great family man, a great son, and most definitely great friend. I want to tell you a little bit about these dogs, these real elite global American Pit Bull Terriers. First thing you need to do is never confuse them with the dogs you know as Pit Bulls. Fact is, 99% of people, if not even 99.9% of people around the world have never seen a real American Pit Bull Terrier. What you see and what you meet in the streets and the neighborhoods are dogs that are just a deformation through a process of breeding the wrong dogs and having poor selection and having absolute ones you bred. American Pit Bull Terriers are different because of one single thing. We're competition animals, and which is a benefit for the American people as well. But these animals have a thing that it go best female with best male, best female with best male. And the person that decides what is a best male and best female is supposed to have a tremendous amount of knowledge and understanding and insight of what it is a real American Pit Bull Terrier, which anyone that you know as a breeder in the American Pit Bull Terrier does not have. So what happens is the American Pit Bull Terrier always, and when I say always, had a strong connection with the boxers, the boxing, the warriors of the United States, of England. And these dogs have a connection because at one point, both of them were actually battle individuals. They were actually one-on-one, pound per pound, going into a particular arena to fight. And they develop an understanding, they develop a connection. And the American Pit Bull Terrier at those times was developed to have a connection with the human that was so strong, and a process of development to create a very powerful dog that was very fast, had tremendous speed, tremendous ability, tremendous smart, just like a boxer in the ring. The boxer, Terrence Crawford, is a perfect example. He's someone that people will say, this guy has a tremendous ability that nobody else had contemporary to his times. His way of switching from orthodox to being a southpaw is something that is completely amazing. His understanding of the ring command, everything around the ring, everything about him, how he's so smart. And dogs used to have the same thing. Dogs used to train, and he trains. Dogs used to have the adversity in front of them to quit and not to continue. He's being exposed to that. So there is a connection between him, the warrior, and it's also a connection between the regular American people. So think about the men in the 1800s, the men in the early 1900s. They were not like you. They were different. They were more rugged. They were very powerful, very determined, and they really had a connection with these dogs, American Pit Bull Terriers. This man right here, Terrence Bud Crawford, is a representation in the year of 2021 of what John Sullivan used to be back in his times, the first heavyweight champion of the world, where the whole thing of lineal champions go all the way down till right now Tyson Fury. And so you think about this. John Sullivan really loved these dogs, and he really loved these red dogs, by the way. He didn't just really love any dog. He really had a love with the Irish version of the American Pit Bull Terrier, the red noses that came from the country of Ireland. And so Terrence Bud Crawford, he has a long story of loving dogs since he was a little child. He always loved the dogs. When he met me and we talked about the dogs, it was an instant friendship and an instant connection with me because I saw history right in front of me. I saw an opportunity to connect the greatest boxer of the times, just like John Sullivan had connected back with the old family red nose back in the 1940s. And it was just a tremendous thing. Think about Jack Johnson. You know, he also had pure American Pit Bull Terriers of the era. Today, Terrence Bud Crawford and many other boxers such as Saul Canelo Alvarez, Roy Jones Jr., Marco Antonio Barreras, Julio Cesar Chavez, and many other legends, even in MMA. They own these dogs that come from our house, born right here in our living room, in our hands. And these dogs are really, really unique. They're not your average dog, and they are not aggressive towards people. They're not the kind of dog that'll be barking around and showing you teeth and showing aggression. Like you see, it's very sad when you see these people that are related to boxing and MMA, and you see them wearing these clothes, and they call themselves pit bulls, right? Many boxers and many MMA fighters call themselves pit bulls because pit bull means relentless, never give up, never surrender. It is actually the iconic dog of the United States. They used to be called pit dogs. And when the United States wanted to have a dog for themselves, Germany had their own dog, Russia had their own dog, and they were raised with these dogs. They call them pit dogs, and they say, this is our dog, so we got to give him a name because he's ours. So they say, before anything, since we were born in 1776 as a nation, and these dogs were coming to the United States before 1776, and their great-grandparents were raised with these dogs, they say they will be, before anything, they will be American. And these are the American dogs. These are the original American dog with honor, with pride, never give up, never surrender. Now I'm going to tell you something. Today you see these strong guys, even the boxers walking around with fake pit bulls. You see them walking with ladies' dogs, lap dogs, poodles and shih tzus and little Yorkies. And you see them walking around with all kinds of Frenchies and stuff like that. That is not the proper dog. It's not the image. There is not your dog is a representation of who you are. A dog is your soul made, basically. If there is a connection, there's no more powerful connection or stronger connection to the human than you can ever make with one of the puppies that I breed. I promise you that, and that is my guarantee. My name is Chico Lopez. I'm an ambassador of the American Pit Bull Terrier, the real, the elite, the global level, the highest level of American Pit Bull Terrier ever in history. Today in 2021, we are at the ending of the apex of the breed. Whenever you have at the top of the apex, you're at the top of the mountain. You climb the mountain and then you start a descent. The breeding is starting a descent right now, and in one day will diminish and get destroyed and forgotten in history by many people. But the American Pit Bull Terriers will always be remembered for being the dog of the warriors, the dog of the alpha males. My name is Chico Lopez. Like I said, if you ever need any assistance, if you want to learn a little bit about the American Pit Bull Terrier, you can always find me. You can call me at 806-500-5552. Thank you.